How's it going today, guys? First things first, shout out to the stream sponsors of CoinCatch and Breakout Prop. CoinCatch is the perpetual exchange of choice. They got a lot of pairings, a lot of good volume, so I like to do a lot of my trading there. Also, Breakout Prop is probably the best crypto prop firm out there. You know, if you guys need an account to start trading with, maybe you're a little too scared to start using your own funds, please head on over to Breakout and try and pass an evaluation to get a funded account. It's huge for people that don't want to be using their own capital. But shout out to CoinCatch and Breakout Prop. Let's just kind of get right into this. So we have NPOC prints all the way down at 76,949 and 74,265. We have created a long to kind of get in and long that area. I think it is a good area if we get that retest to continue to add. Now, the big question is, are we going to get this retest or not? Personally, we'll just have to see. It all depends on the low-term timeframes. This right here is a very, very important type of price action that's kind of unfolding within that big trend line, right? We've kind of broken out of that trend line. We've retested that, and now we're kind of building that support onto that hopeful next leg higher. That's what we're currently looking at, guys. You know, I've talked about this whole range right here just being something to just trade, right? Trade the range until it breaks. Wait for those high conviction areas of 86,863 and 74,265. Those are the high conviction areas based off of a current range on upper limit and lower limit, right? So we're kind of just still chilling in that medium area to where there's not much I really want to do as far as my positioning. I still have BTC long, still willing to add to BTC long if we get these lower NPOC levels. And we do have an NPOC at right about that 82,138. So I do expect to kind of clear these local ones out. Don't have them labeled, haven't done that yet, but I still, expect something like this to kind of happen within a ranging type of price action, right? I think a lot of people are wanting to, see a lot of upside quickly. And I've talked about this since the beginning of the year to where I just think it's going to be a little bit slow. It's going to be a little bit slow heading into, Q2, all this tariff stuff, all this Trump stuff, a lot of uncertainty still. But that's just the way that I'm looking at NPOC levels, right? Looking to kind of long down at 74,265. That would be where I'm looking to add to my longs next. So that's what we're looking at on BTC. I think our overall setups do stay the same, right? Not much has changed. Shorting is still up at that 86,863 and longing is still down at that 75K area, and again, all that we're doing is watching this range right here, upper limit, lower limit, waiting for those high conviction areas to hit before we take our entry and, take the trade. So Ethereum now, sadly, we have to talk about Ethereum. I don't know how I feel. I'm indifferent. I love Ethereum. I hate Vitalik. I hate Ethereum. I think that we have a long way to go with Ethereum. A lot of damage was done. A lot of people losing belief. Rightfully so. But these are all those fucking signs to me, man. This is like the feeling of Sol when Sol had dropped and everything happened with FTX. And it was just like, Sol's completely dead. It's never going to happen again. Sol was linked to FTX. And what happened? Sol had its own ecosystem run this year, guys. Created an entire new sector of meme coins off of Sol after everybody thought it was dead. Let me just bring this up for you guys. So right here, right? This was a very painful time for everybody. Very painful. So that's kind of the game plan that I have for Ethereum, going forward is I just think things get super slow, things get super boring. Basically the mindset of things, every time Ethereum has had a drawdown, it's never really dug out of it quickly. Even here, right? Like had this nasty drawdown and took a long time to kind of dig out of it. Same thing, like maybe it just goes into Q4 before anything happens with ETH. Now, does that mean that you can't trade it? No. Does that mean that you can't make money off of these type of movements at this level? No, but I will say that it is one of those things that is reminding me of everybody giving up on Sol, everybody kind of giving up on Ethereum. Just seems to be that type of coordination. So let's just dive into some longs and shorts. Again, nothing has happened. We do have a new NPOC print above right here at about that 1635. So same thing, I'm not looking to really add Ethereum here. Where are we looking to add next? Well, if we long, it'd be about that 1200 area, which I don't think is crazy. I think that, even if we do go higher from here, that sweep down to 1200 is actually possible, something like this, right? So always be prepared. But as far as NPOC prints go, I'm willing to short 1753 and I'm willing to kind of long 1262. Yeah, Hype had an absolutely insane bounce and I missed this one. I don't know what the chart actually looks like. I don't know if this is from existence, but this is just a KuCoin listing. Bounce was great. I think it was, 60% bounce, 80% bounce off the lows. Great move. What's next? I don't know. I mean, this is a tough one. I think Hyperliquid is good, but then I've also heard some narratives that it could be liquidated. I don't know much about Hyperliquid, guys, but let's just TA this chart here, right? Okay, so low-term time frame resistance, kind of coming up to that level, right? So again, wouldn't be too excited to be longing here, not something that I'm interested into. So what do we do next? Let's just throw a current range on this and see what's up. So yeah, I think for me, same thing applies. Current ranges, retest median ML, because if you get that, you might get the pound to all-time highs. Also, retest to lower limit, same thing. Get an average between 12 and 9 and you'll be fine. What the fuck happened to Ohm, guys? Like, this is crazy. This is like FTX shit. This is like Luna shit. No idea what happened. All I do know is that I saw the CEO on fucking CoffeeZilla shit, whatever, and he just looked like an idiot. Basically was explaining what a pump and dump was and then explained that he was fucking doing that. And then said that it wasn't a pump and dump. I don't know all this sort of stuff that goes with like injections into the chart and like OTC deals. Because a lot of times people can make OTC deals on a coin, but then what do? They just inject that coin back into the market by selling it, right? So it just depends on the tokenomics with everything, you know. That's why you really got to be careful when it comes to investing in a lot of this stuff. And this is the stock market too, right? There's just people that hold more than you, right? So they can manipulate it in some sort of way. And Ohm is a perfect example. I mean, also like in this type of condition, you see this type of move, it's just crazy to me. Obviously, you're going to want to, you know, capitalize on this, but 4,000% move since, you know, for like about a year. I mean, just absolutely nuts. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, just a crazy chart to look at. I think that, you know, this is just a good example. I mean, I know a lot of people got hurt on this. Again, just nuts. Maybe it's a good buy. I don't know. I don't know the tokenomics behind this, but it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I definitely mapped out the area to be bidding, but I did not bid. Fuck me, right? CRV is great. I made a lot of money on CRV last cycle back within all this, right? So this is a good looking chart here. You know, it's pretty freshly bottomed. You know, it's sitting at about off its highs, at least local highs, about a 98% retrace. I mean, this is the shit you want to buy long term at these levels, right? Can it go another 90%? Of course, anything can. But CRV is actually a pretty good project. Curve, like I said, I made some money on them last time with some trading. I did take profits. I didn't round trip this motherfucker, but now I'm very interested in again. I think, you know, a very decent setup. I know Elizzy and Spike have been talking about this for a while, so shout out to those guys who have been fucking kind of crushing this one already. But yeah, you know, again, I have no exposure to this right now. And if I did want exposure, I would want back in this blue box, right? So, and that's just me. I still think CRV is good, you know, for potentially higher, but for me who doesn't have a position, who wants to put in new capital into the position, it would probably be down in this 50 to 40 cent range would be where I'm interested in CRV again. So I'm gonna map this out right here just so that I know when I come back, if we get to those levels, I'll be a bidder. I'm just trying to push out as much content as I can for you guys. Engagement has been down, markets have been down, you know, these streams aren't getting as many people joining them live anymore. So I appreciate you guys when you do join. People sometimes lose money, but don't give up, man. That's the one thing I will say. Don't fucking give up on trading. I don't know how many times I was so close to just being done and not doing it anymore and just fucking off and working my real world job and, you know, being content with that. Don't give up, guys. I'm telling you, good things happen to people that continue to show up every single fucking day. So trading's hard and these conditions have been hard. So don't ever forget that. Give yourself a little bit of grace when it comes to that. If you've lost a lot of money, I've lost a lot of money. I know a lot of people out there have lost a lot of money too. Keep your head up and let's just fucking keep grinding, guys. But I will be in the Telegram no matter what. Thank you so much for joining the stream, guys. I always appreciate everyone. You know, I will be doing some more giveaways. Probably another $500 giveaway here coming pretty soon with a tweet. All you got to do is retweet it and you get entered into it. So thank you guys for everything. Appreciate you. And I will see you over in the Telegram. Peace out.